as many of you know, I have a program that I talk about called 75 Hard. And what I wanted to do was to make a very organized and concise overview of this program for you all, because the original episode from 2019 in March on the MFCEO Project feed is kind of all over the place. So I wanted to reorganize this so that you guys would have a better understanding of what to do, why to do it, and what the program basically will do for you and all of those things. So if you're interested in 75 Hard and you've heard about it and you've seen the hashtags at the time of this recording, we're sitting at like 125,000 hashtags organically. It's gaining a lot of momentum and a lot of steam. And the reason it is because it works. This isn't something that we advertise or that I put an advertising budget behind. It's just spread through word of mouth. And so to have something spread organically like that, it's very effective. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to just create this for you guys to make it easy for you to understand what the program is, why you should consider doing it, and what you can expect through the program. So as you guys know, people waste tons and tons and tons of time and energy and money on courses that teach you how to get healthy, how to succeed in business, how to have better relationships, how to do everything that there is out there. We've never lived in a time where there's more courses on things to do. And the reason these courses don't work and never work is because most people lack the willpower and the discipline to actually put these things into play. And I want you to think about something for a minute. What would it be worth to you if you could learn to create within yourself the skills of discipline, self-worth, fortitude, grit, self-control, self-esteem, and confidence? All of these things come together to create what is generally called mental toughness. And most of us, me included, lack that at certain points in our life. The first thing you have to understand about mental toughness is that it's a perishable skill. It's something that you have to practice consistently for it to be at a high level. A lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people can't understand why they don't have confidence, why they don't have self-esteem, why they don't feel good about themselves. Why is it that so many other people have all of these things and seem to have it all figured out, but we don't? I wondered this my whole life. I can remember going places and wondering, what makes that person so special? What makes that person stand out? Why does that person continue to win over and over and over again? You guys all know what I'm talking about. You're sitting at a place, a meeting, a restaurant, at work, and this person walks through the door and everybody stops and looks at them because they have something about them. This is what I'm talking about. That thing that they have that we don't have, and we're trying to figure out why we don't have it. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about mental toughness. How many times have you started something only to get through it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then fall off and then go back right where you were? See, I struggle with my weight my whole life. I've also struggled with confidence my whole life. I was never a cool person. I was never cool. I wasn't the captain of my sports teams, as a lot of people think. A lot of people think now, like, oh, dude, I bet he was a leader. No, I wasn't. I wasn't a leader. I was just a kid trying to figure it out, just like everybody else. And all of the things that I'm talking about that I'm going to go through in this podcast are how I develop these skills, which is what they are, okay? These things that I talk about, discipline, self-worth, fortitude, grit, self-control, self-esteem, confidence. These are all things that you possess inside of you that you just haven't built yet, okay? It's like a seed, right? If you have a seed in the ground, the seed's there. You can't deny that it's not there. But unless you water it, unless you take care of it, it's not going to grow. Similar to a muscle in the gym. All of us have muscles. All of us. Doesn't matter how big or how small, how old or how young, we all have muscles. But certain people have bigger muscles. Why do they have bigger muscles? Well, the reason that those people have bigger muscles is because they train those muscles consistently and then put the proper fuel into their body so that those muscles can recover and grow and become stronger. Mental toughness, confidence, grit, all of these things I'm talking about that actually create all the great things in life, including finances, fitness, your relationships, everything. Your success in every area of life comes down to these skills. But why aren't we training them? How do we train them? See, that's something that I figured out a long time ago. How come we don't have a program to build all of these things like we have to build our bodies? Well, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about how you can go out and fix your brain to a point where all of these other programs that you want to buy and learn how to do will now actually take care of themselves because you have the ability to execute consistently. All right? That's what we're talking about. I want you to think about that. What would that be worth to you to have? What would it be worth to you for you to know for sure that when you said you were going to do something, you actually followed through? What would your life look like if that were the case? How different would your career be? How different would your relationship be? How different would your body be if you actually knew that if you said you were going to do something, you actually did it? How much better would you feel about yourself if you could look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say, dude, I'm proud of you. I'm happy. I'm glad I'm you. Think about that. What is that worth? Well, the good news is I'm going to give it to you for free in this podcast. So you don't have to pay anything. So before we really get into the nuts and bolts of this, I want you to know what 75 Hard is all about. This is not a trendy fitness challenge. A lot of people think this is a fitness challenge or some sort of Instagram challenge or some sort of fun. This is not that. This is a program that has been created to develop mental toughness, and it has developed mental toughness in tens of thousands of people who completed it. In fact, if you complete it exactly as I go through, and I'm about to go through in this podcast, I guarantee you after 75 days, you will look back and say, this is the greatest thing I ever did. Now, if you try it, quote unquote, try it, and you come out 21 days in or 42 days in or 60 days in, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be pissed at yourself. And it's probably going to make you feel pretty crappy. And it's probably going to make you feel pretty down. But knowing going in that if you complete it and you come out the other side, what you're going to gain, I promise you it's going to be the best thing you ever did. Okay? So before I get into the nuts and bolts of this, you're probably wondering, who am I? And why should you listen to me? Well, because I don't want to take a whole bunch of time talking about myself and what I've done. You could just go to my website. It's andyfrisella.com. Click on the About Me in the bio, and it'll tell you all about who I am and what I've done in life so far. But the important thing is this. I've always been interested in mental toughness because I never had it, okay? And I've been studying mental toughness for 20 plus years. And I've developed these skills of mental toughness in my business and in my life that have allowed me to create an amazing life. There's really no other way to say it. But the reason I launched this program, the 75 Hard program last year, is because a certain piece of this puzzle fell in place for me. I always wondered why it was and how we went about learning how to be mentally tough. I always wondered why there wasn't a book or a course or something out there that actually could help us do this. Yes, there's a lot of theories. Yes, there's a lot of words to read out there. No, there hasn't, from my knowledge, been anything out there that's been created to help cultivate this skill. And on my podcast, the MFCEO Project, which is a podcast I did from 2015 to 2019, it was the #1 business podcast in the world. And I was fortunate enough to be able to interview some amazing guests. One of these guests was James Lawrence, okay, and otherwise known as the Iron Cowboy. The reason he's known as the Iron Cowboy is because he did 50 Ironmans in 50 consecutive days in 50 consecutive states, okay? This man did something amazing, and I doubt that it will ever be replicated in the history of humanity. And if it is, props to that person, because this is tough, all right? After 3 days, he lost all of his toenails off of his feet. So he had 47 more Ironmans to go with no toenails, all right? So this dude's tough, and he knows what it takes to be mentally tough. And while we were talking and while we were doing the show, he said something that made everything click for me. He said, you have to intentionally put yourself in places that are uncomfortable. And I never thought about it like that. I knew subconsciously what that was, but I never heard it said like that. Everything kind of just fell into place as soon as I heard that. And if you go listen to the podcast, when he says it, you can hear that I'm like, whoa, all right. It clicked. And I got fired up immediately, man. I went home. I started thinking about how I was going to put this program together. And literally by the next day, I had this program put together, and it was called 75 Hard. I decided on 75 days because I knew it's going to take a lot longer than the 21 days everybody says to form a real habit. We've all heard it before. If you do something for 21 days, it's going to be a habit. Well, we also all know that that's not true because we've all done stuff for 21 days and it didn't stick. And so at the time, I had a bet going on with an entrepreneur group that I run called the Arte Syndicate, that I had a bet with the group that I would get to 10% body fat or I would have to pay $250,000. All right. So that's where the 75 days came from, because it happened to be 75 days to my deadline. I knew that was much longer than the 21 days, and I had a pretty good idea that these things would stick. And you know what? It turns out that I was right. And the reason I can know I was right is because there's been 50, 60,000 people that have completed this program. And if you go search the 75 Hard hashtag, they'll tell you what it's done for them. It's done things that nothing else ever has. All right. So I thought through the requirements very, very well of the program, and all the things I had learned over the last 20 years, basically I put together in this program so that I could help you guys understand what kind of structure it has been for me to create the mentality to go out and live the life that I truly desire, which I do every day, by the way. Okay. So I'm going to go through a bunch of things here, and you're probably going to want to take notes if you've never listened to this before. First thing is this, all right? 75 Hard requires absolutely zero deviation, zero compromise. You can't tweak the program to your liking. This is the first thing that everybody tries to do. When they look at the program, they look at it and they say, well, that's going to be inconvenient. Well, that's going to be hard. Yeah, it's supposed to be inconvenient. And it's supposed to be hard. You can't tailor it to your situation. The reason for that is that you have to understand that in life, conditions are never going to be perfect. You're always going to have to do things that you don't want to do. And the minute you start tweaking or compromising, that's what opens the door to quitting. Okay? So you have to commit to the program 100%, and you have to do the requirements of the program to the letter, no matter what, before you go to sleep for that day. If you compromise on anything, if you do one of the workouts that's supposed to be 45 minutes and it's 42 minutes, you have to start over from day one. If you miss something simple, like you read 9 pages instead of 10 pages, you've got to start over at day one. If you missed 1 ounce short of the gallon of water that it's asking you to drink, you have to start over from day one. And there are no exceptions for this. It doesn't matter how many kids you have. It doesn't matter how busy you are. It doesn't matter what your current role in life is. It doesn't matter. There are people who have completed this program that have those same challenges. Lots of them. We've had people who are 8 and 9 months pregnant finish the program 2 or 3 days before they gave birth. Now, I'm not recommending that's what you should do, but that's a fact. I've had people do that. I've had people who literally have no legs and one arm complete this program. Okay? I've had people that run 7, 6, multiple huge companies like myself complete this program. The minute I go through all these things, you are going to have all these excuses come into your head, and you're going to say, well, this is why I can't do it. That's normal. You need to squash that voice in your head. You're going to learn real quick. I call that the bitch voice, okay? The bitch voice is the voice who talks you out of doing every single thing you know you're supposed to do. They tell you all the things you know exactly what you need to hear to not do it. And it's what costs you every single thing that you truly want in life. It's your bitch voice. So as I go through this and you start to think of objections, I want you to understand lots of other people have done this and lots of other people have finished it the right way. Now, there is some people, because this is on the honor system, who have skated their way through and not done the things that they're supposed to do. And then at the end, they try to celebrate and be a part of the group. And I'm going to warn you up front, the people who finish it the right way can always tell who those people are. Okay? If you follow the program exactly as it laid out, you will be a completely different person. You will look different. You will talk different. You will speak different. You will fucking think different. Okay? You are going to be a different human completely. If you pretend, you will get none of those benefits. That's something you have to know up front. And I would recommend this. The more times you have a quote unquote hiccup through the program and you quit, the easier it is to quit and the less likely you are to actually finish the program. So I would highly, highly recommend that you know going in that if you start this program, you absolutely have to finish it. No exceptions. And if you fail and have to start over, your chances of seeing it all the way through go down. Know that up front. The first time matters. And if you fail it, it's going to hurt bad. All right? So understand this moving forward. Now, what I want to do now is I want to go through the 5 critical parts of 75 Hard, okay? I'm going to go through them in general and maybe a little bit of detail. And if you want to know more and more and more, I have the website, 75hard.com. And also, I have a book coming out real soon that you will be able to pick up that's just called 75 Hard. And it details all of these things out in depth. It actually includes what I did the first time I went through the program, how I accomplished it, and some of the, the frequently asked questions and all that. It tells you the whole story. So this will be an overview. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the 5 critical tasks of 75 Hard. Now, before I go through them, I want to stress extremely hard, okay, that your integrity in this program is everything. There is no system that checks up on you. There is no coach that checks up on you. There is no anything that checks up on you, and that's by design. The reason there's nobody to check up on you is because we're teaching you how to coach yourself. If you know how to coach yourself and you know how to be disciplined in yourself and you create these skills in yourself, you will not need other people to remind you. So this is going to be work for a lot of you guys to do this. You have to have integrity. You might lose some weight, you might look better, but mentally, you are not going to get what this program provides when you adhere to it 100%. I promise you. Okay? So there's magic to this, but it has to be done completely with integrity. If you fail, start over and see it all the way through. Lots of people do have to start over and see it all the way through. I've got people who have failed 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times and made it through. Okay? Those people are completely transformed, and you can ask any of them if they got something out of the program when they failed versus when they completed it, and you can figure out what it does. All right? So here are the 5 critical tasks of 75 Hard. The first one is this. choose a diet and commit to it. I'm not going to tell you what diet you should do. There is no specified diet. You need to choose the diet according to your goals. Meaning, if you want to lose weight and get leaner and get in better shape that way, then choose a diet and commit to it that entire time for that goal. If you want to gain muscle and you want to get leaner that way, same thing all the way through. All right. Here's the thing. Certain diets, like counting macros, allow for people to eat junk and stack calories. That is not the point. You are missing the point of what this program is about. If you're going to do a calorie counting, macro-based diet, the food needs to be clean all the way through. No trying to wait all day and then eat pancakes at the end of the day or snacks. This is about building mental discipline. Okay, and here's the thing about the first requirement: no cheat meals. Lots of people bucket this and they say, well, how do I go 75 days without cheating? Well, lots of people have done it. I did it twice last year, and it was the best thing I ever did. And I'm going to tell you right now, the first 6 days and 7 days are the hardest because most of you have never gone more than a week without taking a cheat meal. That's the truth, okay? So this is going to be something different for you, and it's going to be difficult. This is not called 75 easy, but remember what you're going to get out of the program, all right? So choose the diet according to your goals. It's okay to get a trainer or a consultant to help you with your diet. 100% recommend that. There's lots and lots of great professionals out there that can help you with this thing, and you have to stick with it. And also, no junk. None whatsoever. Not one bite. If you eat one chocolate chip in your macro diet, you start over, okay? And here's the other thing that you need to know that goes along with point one and no cheat meals. That means no alcohol either. Not a drop. Not a beer, not a wine, not a glass when you get home. Nothing for at least 75 days, okay? This is part of following a diet that is going to improve your physical self. You need to eliminate alcohol. And I know a lot of you guys are sitting there saying, oh, dude, how am I going to make it through with no alcohol? Trust me, you can do it. All right. There's a number of reasons for this. Empty calories. Okay. Psychological addiction, physical addiction. All right. Also, by the way, we're talking about detoxing your body and mind for 75 days. A lot of you guys who drink regularly, and by the way, I used to be one of these people, so I know you don't understand how foggy you are because of this lifestyle. I used to be the guy who went out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and then day drank on Sundays. And I was running companies like that. And I can tell you right now, when I eliminated that from my life, and by the way, I still enjoy a drink. I'm not some anti-alcohol zealot. I still like to have some beers with my friends or a glass of wine or some whatever's around. Actually, it's whatever's free. All right, let's be honest. But this program does not allow for that. So 0 alcohol for 75 days. So that's the first requirement. Choose a diet that is going to be aligned with your personal goals of your body and stick to it. This is not choose a diet like saying, oh, well, I'll eat fast food the whole time. That's a diet. That's not what I mean. I mean a diet that is going to improve your physical health. Point number 2, drink 1 gallon of water every day. Everybody knows there's all sorts of health benefits to being properly hydrated. And drinking a gallon of water, it sounds pretty easy. Lots of people recommend it. It's a lot harder than that. You're going to have to make sure that you start early and be consistent throughout the day. Your increased physical activity that we're going to get to in a minute is going to require more water. You're going to have to be disciplined to drink more water throughout the whole day so that you're not chugging a gallon of water right before you go to bed, which, by the way, I had to do a few times the first time I went through because I was undisciplined about doing it throughout the day. All right? So you have to drink a gallon of water every day. Point number 3, you have to commit to 2 45-minute workouts, and one of them has to be outdoors. They cannot be consecutive. You cannot go from one workout indoors to the workout outdoors. That is not what this program is about. They are separated. The reason they are separated is because it's supposed to be inconvenient. You're supposed to make it harder. The reason you're supposed to make it harder is because you're trying to develop and are developing these certain mental skills. So you have to rid your mind of the idea of making everything easier for yourself, which we as humans have a tendency to do. And I think if you're honest with yourself right now, you will tell yourself the truth that one of the main reasons that you're not where you want to be in life is because you try and change everything to suit you. Unfortunately, the world doesn't work that way, and this is a big problem for a lot of people. A lot of people think they can throw a fit or be stubborn or be mad or say this doesn't make sense, and they get out of stuff. And you know what? That's not how the world works, not if you want to win. So you have to do the 2 45-minute workouts, and again, you have to decide what these workouts are going to be according to your goals. I don't care what you do. In fact, maybe you should hire a trainer or a coach to help you do your workouts if you're a beginner. If you're not a beginner, do what you got to do. Most of the time, I lift weights in one workout, and then I do outdoor walk, run, blend on the outdoor workout. Okay? So those are 2 separate workouts. Now, you will have to do workouts in inclement weather. You will have to do workouts in thunderstorms. You will have to do workouts in snow. You will have to do workouts when it's hot. You will have to do workouts when it's cold. This is the point of the program. Conditions are never perfect. And one of the reasons that most people can't get through life in an effective way is because the minute that conditions are off, they throw the towel in on their plan. 45 minutes outside, no matter what. Sometimes you might have to drag a piece of equipment out in your driveway and do it at 1 o'clock in the morning. I did that a number of times. Sometimes the day might be perfect and it might be no problem. I love those days too. But what you're going to see is that as you go through the program and you start to develop these skills of mental toughness is you're going to start to crave the inclement weather because you know that it's a test. You know that it's something you need to overcome, and you're going to take pride in this because you know that nobody else is doing it. There's something extremely empowering about going out on your local running trail or your walking trail when it's raining outside and there's nobody there. And you know that you're the only person that's out there paying the price. That will help build you. Okay? This is what champions are made of. This is what greatness consists of. It's doing things that you know you're supposed to do when you don't want to do them and when nobody else is doing them either. This is a huge part of it. So don't skip this. Don't cheat it. Don't buck at it. I promise you, you're going to end up loving it. And my little asterisk to that whole thing is obviously there's scenarios where you're not going to want to go outside. It could be lightning. It could be a hurricane. It could be tornado warning. I am not telling you to do this, by the way. This is your choice. Be smart. Use your brain. Do what you know is right, but don't cheat the program and you'll find a way to get it done. That's the truth. I live here in Missouri. Sometimes we got tornadoes. Sometimes we have a foot of snow. Other times it's 110 degrees outside. And guess what? I've done outdoor cardio in all those scenarios. All of them. All right? And by the way, it doesn't have to be cardio outside. You could do weights outside. You could do CrossFit. You could do jumping jacks. You could do jump rope. You could do bands. You could do air weight squats. I am not telling you have to go do what I do. I'm saying you have to do a workout outside. All right? So 2 workouts, and both can be outside, by the way. If you want to do them both outside, that's cool. One of them has to be. All right? So that's point number 3. 2 workouts, 45 minutes minimum each, one outside. Point 4, read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day. This is not entertainment time. This is not Harry Potter time. This is learn new stuff time. Okay, so the book has to be a self-development book of some sort for personal or professional growth. It does not have to be a business book. It could be a psychology book. It does not have to be a book on banking. It could be a book on how to do something else. But the point is, you have to learn some new stuff. All right? Standard format, not audiobooks, not digital books, not books with 5 words on each page, not coloring books. All of these things people try to skate out on and they try to like get around. The reason it has to be a real book, there's actually a lot of reasons, which I will address in the book, 75 Hard. But the main reason that it has to be a real book is because there's a sense of accomplishment that you can see as you move through the book, okay? When you go through the book and you hold the book up sideways and you see how far you are through it, like we all do, you're going to start to feel a sense of confidence as you do this. You're going to start to feel like, yeah, actually, I'm doing what I should do. And what you're going to start to notice on a micro level, on a day-by-day level, is that you're getting stronger every single day. At first, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be really, really hard. And then it's going to get easy. And then it's going to get real hard. And then you're going to be done. Okay? Then the habits are in you. I'm going to tell you right now, the reading part is a big deal for a lot of people. For me, this isn't a big deal because I've been reading my entire life, 10 pages a day for 16 years now in business. All right? I've read lots and lots and lots of books. It's a normal habit for me. And by the way, some of these things are going to be habit for a lot of you. I know a lot of you in the fitness industry are going to say, well, I do these things because I trained for this event or that. You might have trained for 20 weeks for an event, a bodybuilding show, a fitness competition, this, that. You did not do all of these things for that time. So if you're looking at it and you're thinking, man, this looks like pretty easy. Okay, well, do it and then tell me how easy it was. That's all I have to say. All right, because this program gets a lot of criticism from the quote unquote professionals out there because they don't understand this is a mental toughness program. It is not a fitness challenge. If you want to lose weight and that's your only goal, there are plenty of other programs that you can accomplish losing weight on that will be easier. This is not that. This is a program that will help you end the problem that is keeping you where you are in life, which is where you don't want to be, or you wouldn't be listening to this. Let's be completely honest. All right. This is a program that will help you develop the skills that you need so that you can move forward in any area of life at your own will. Think about that. This is not Jenny Craig. This is not Weight Watchers. This is not some sort of healthy baby step program on how to do things. Right now, we live in a society where everybody wants to pacify everybody else, and everybody wants to help everybody else be successful. And the way they do it is by referencing these old studies and these old psychology thoughts that it's baby steps to everything. And you know what? Maybe that works for some people, but for me, it never worked. For lots of other people, it seems to never work. Otherwise, they wouldn't constantly be looking for the next thing. This is not the next thing. This is the thing that's going to fix it. All right? So when you think about this and you go show your friends and they say, well, that seems like it's overtraining or that seems like it's going to be very inconvenient. Yes, it is. That's the point. This is not for people that want to be like everyone else. This is for people that want to win. This is for people that want to dominate. This is for people who want to develop their own superpower that every single other person is never going to have. That's what this is. So let's not get confused. So let's review real quick. We have a diet. We have a gallon of water. We have 2 workouts, one indoors, one outdoors, 45 minutes. Both can be outdoors. they cannot be consecutive. We have read 10 pages of a nonfiction book a day. And the last one, and this is very, very important, and it's often overlooked. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people fail this because of this, and they think that it's not important. Point number 5, take a progress picture every day. This is not just to show your physical transformation, although it is also to show your physical transformation, because I'm going to tell you what. On day 1, you're going to look one way. And on day 14, you're going to look better. And on day 21, you're going to look better than that. And on day 42, you're going to look better than that. By the time you're done, you're going to be able to look back and create a little slideshow and say, dang, look at this transformation. I did a good job. Okay? That's one point. But there's another point. The other point here is that you probably hear this and you think it's going to be easy. And because of that, you're going to miss it. And this is the reason that a lot of you fail. A lot of you are really good at paying attention to the small details, and I'm talking about anything in life. A lot of you are really good at paying attention to the small details when you're at ground zero. But once you start getting some progress in a certain area, whether it be your fitness or your business or anywhere else, you start to forget the little details as you go. And those little forgotten details are what ends up costing you the growth that you're making right now. You'll get better, you'll get better, you'll get better, start to forget what you did in the beginning to get better. Then all of a sudden things start to turn around and you start going down and you start looking around and wondering why you're going down. Why am I struggling now? I was doing so well. Why is everything seem to be falling on me? Why is the sky falling? Well, the sky's falling not because God hates you. It's because you are not doing the small details that you were doing in the beginning. So understand that this part of the program is a huge deal. Huge deal. Also, realize these photos do not have to be posted online. So I would highly recommend that you take a photo that shows your body. Wear clothes that show your progress. For men, this would be shorts, no shirt. For women, this would be, a sports bra and some shorts or something that because this is for you. You do not have to share this with anybody. This is for you. But I'm going to promise you that if you stick with this at the end of the 75 days, you are going to wish that you took the progress pic with your shirt off or your ability to see your body. A lot of people, because they're embarrassed, and I understand. I used to be 350 pounds. You'll find that out, okay? I'm not some fit guy that was born this way. I've struggled with my weight my whole life. I know what it's like to be embarrassed of your body. It's the worst thing ever. I know what it's like to go to the clothing store and nothing fit. I know what it's like to be embarrassed to go to the pool. I know what it's like to not go to shit because none of your clothes fit. I know what it's like to have to wear the same outfit every single day because nothing fits. I know because I lived it. But trust me when I tell you, I don't care how big you are or how out of shape you are, or how embarrassed you are, take these pictures so you can see your body. Because at the end, you're going to want to say, wow, dude, look how good I did. And it's going to help the program work for you. Okay, and I have to give you the disclaimer because our attorneys tell me that I have to do this. So here it is. You should consult your physician or other healthcare professional before starting 75 Hard or any other fitness program to determine if it's right for your needs. Do not start 75 Hard if your physician or healthcare provider advises against it. Now, since I know most of you are not going to ask your doctor, I also would like to add this. Use common sense. Don't get yourself out in the middle of a thunderstorm when there's lightning coming down. Don't get yourself out there in the middle of a flood. Be smart. Follow the program, but use common sense and be able to identify if you are actually using common sense or if your bitch voice is actually talking you out of something. Because I'm going to tell you, we have varying climate weather here in the Midwest. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, and I've done 75 Hard twice. I'm in the middle of doing it my third time. I've done all the phases, which I'll talk about in a different podcast because there's actually phase 1, 2, and 3 after this. Don't pay attention to that until you're done with 75 hard. And I've never had a situation where I wasn't able to get it done. All right? No excuses. But be smart, common sense, ask your doctor, and all that good stuff. With any of these 5 tasks, whether it be the diet, whether it be the gallon of water, whether it be the 2 workouts, whether it be the read 10 pages, whether it be take a progress pick every day, if you miss any of it, and I mean just part of any of it, you have to start over at day 1. Okay? So let this program do its work. Commit to it and see it through. And I promise you, in 75 days, which is such a short time to gain what this program will give you, you will feel like a different person in all the right ways. And guys, I know you're probably listening to this, some of you at least, and you're fired up. You said, dude, I got this. Good. But there's also some of you people that are thinking right now, man, this seems really hard. Okay, understand, this program is scalable. All right? It doesn't matter how big you are or how out of shape you are or how whatever you are. You can do this program in some way. Whatever reason it is right now that you're telling yourself you can't is exactly why you need this program. It's exactly why you must do this program, because you don't believe in yourself. And I promise you, at the end of this, it will be the best thing you ever did. Most people see this as another fitness program. This is not that. I can't say that enough. This is the equivalent of an Ironman, of climbing Mount Everest. Whatever it is that you see all these other people doing that they're so proud of, this is the equivalent of that for your brain. That's what this is. This is a huge accomplishment in your life that you can put in your mind as a trophy that you can always go back on to remind yourself how badass you really are. This is a huge opportunity for you to change your life, to change your family's life, and to change the life of every single person that you ever come in contact with from here until the day you die, and by the way, beyond. That's how powerful this program is. And I know you think that's probably an over-exaggeration, but I'm not selling you anything. This is free. So all you got to do is do it. All right? I want you guys to know, man, I did this. What one man could do, another man could do. I did this program twice last year. I have a bunch of people that I know personally that have done this. I get hit up all the time in public with people who have done this. People just like you have done this. I've got all the obstacles in the world just like you guys do, okay? I love to eat. I struggle with my weight. I have deep, dark, emotional demons. I've struggled with depression for 20 plus years. And I talk about it on my podcast all the time. I'm not embarrassed of it because I want people to know that you could still build amazing things with these struggles, okay? I have extremely demanding days literally every single day. If you came and followed me around, you would be in awe and you would say, how in the hell does this dude get this stuff done? And I'm going to promise you, this is not a superpower I have. This is a superpower I built. And that's what this program is going to do for you as well. I did this program. You can do this program no matter what you think, no matter how anxious you are. I want you to get excited about this because at the end of it, it's going to be the best version of you. The thing that you have been pursuing for your entire life will come out the other side of this tunnel if you do what the program asks. Trust me, guys, developing mental toughness is a game changer. Okay? There's no going back to your old self after this. And if you do find yourself going back to your old self, you know what to do to get back on track to be your best self. This is a tool. This program will elevate you to a new level that you did not even know you had in you. And that higher level, that's going to become your new standard of living. With that new standard of living, everything in your life begins to elevate. This is it, guys. This is it. Start this program immediately. Do not think about it. Do not think I have to mentally prepare. This program is going to mentally prepare you. Do not think I've got a trip here, I've got a trip there. Listen, I went to Vegas 4 times my first 75 hard because I had to. Okay, if you wait for the right time, you'll never do it. And beyond that, the reason your life looks the way it is because you're always waiting for the right time. The right time to become the best version of you is today. It's not tomorrow, and it's not when you have 75 days of uninterrupted challenges. This is a huge, huge opportunity for you guys to grow and improve your own life and every single person around you's life too. All right? If you need more information on this program, go to 75hard.com and it will give you everything that you need. If you have questions on the program, on Instagram, everybody uses the 75hard hashtag. There's literally tens of thousands of people executing this program right now at any given phase. Some are on day 1, some are on day 21, some are on day 52. You will find people to help you with this. But remember, there's zero compromise, zero substitutions, and zero excuses. If you obey the rules of this program, you will come out the other side unrecognizable to who you were when you went in. And in closing, guys, when you go on Instagram and you look around, you're going to see everybody using these checkoff lists, these templates to show how many days in. Those templates are available on my personal Instagram. There's a button called templates. If you click that button, it'll have those templates that you're looking for. So that's where you get those at. I appreciate you guys listening to this. Be on the lookout for the 75 Hard book. It's coming out very soon. You could check that out. It'll give you way, way, way more in-depth details about what things are, how to do them, what I did and what I do to get through this, and how you can learn from that as well. And by the way, guys, if you get stuff out of the program, spread it. It's free. I don't ask for anything. I could be selling this program for a lot of money every single day. I don't do that. I give it to you for free because it's that valuable. I want you to get better. I want you to know how to get better. And I want you to be able to do so without money being an objection. Everybody can do this program. So go to 75 Hard, check it out, and let's get started. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. If you want more information from me, I'm on Instagram at Andy Frisella. That's where I do most of my social. I have a podcast called Real AF. You can go into iTunes or wherever podcasts are and just search Andy Frisella. It'll pop up. Subscribe to that. I also have an Andygram daily email. You can subscribe to that on my website. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, ahead of time, don't be shocked. I say bad words. I'm very aggressive. I'm very intense. But everything that you're going to hear from me in anything that I do and any company I represent is about helping people be the best they can. I'm not always nice about it. I'm not always quiet about it. And I'm not always everybody's cup of tea, but I can promise you one thing. My heart's in the right spot for you, and I want you to do this program because I want you to be better.
Told my teacher, dumb bitch, I'm going to get